Are we
live? Okay.
I apologize, man. He's like really hurt, like over the schmutz.
All right, let's go. Today's Daf Chav Daled. Yesterday we learned in the Mishnah that if somebody makes an Arachin, he says Erki Olai or Erkoy Olai, and he owes the Bedek Havayis money, the Mishnah says that we go in there and we seize his property, but we have to leave him enough food for 30 days, enough clothing for 12 months, and we don't really care about his wife and children, my taima. Why not? If he's poor, it says who? Him. I'm not sure if it was like, where is this? Ugh. It's not even worth pulling out. Oh, b'machu me'erkecha. It seems like Rashi that this is not the real pshat. B'machu hachayehu. I thought it's more like a who kind of thing, but I don't think you have to go there. B'machu, he, dafka the person himself, and we don't care about. You're supposed to, you have a chiyuv to support him, make sure that he's alive and well with clothing and food. We don't care that much about his wife and children. Avaloi lishtoi bonov my taimo hu me'erkecha veloi ishtoi uvonov me'erkecha. Who's he? The Mesifta? You know what?
The who will still exist.
Well, okay, the who, but it's not so much hachayei who. It's I thought it was a plain in words in the beginning, but then Rashi. Hu yekayim ergecha. Rashi says it. That's what Rashi says. Hu yekayim ergecha. That after you do the ergecha, he should still be around. Don't destroy him. In other words, we're focused on this individual that we can't start being concerned about everybody around him. Like, if somebody commits a crime, you put him in jail. Yeah, there's the side effects. It's what about his children? What about his wife? But we're focused about him. It's not like we're mean and we don't care about the children. The Torah is focused on one person. He committed something. He gets punished. We put him away. There's collateral effect. What are you going to do? What?
Here it's worse than your example. Here we're saying we are protecting him.
But the Torah can't go. Because my point is, I hear what you're saying, but my point is that the Torah can't be concerned about everybody. And what about his second cousin? And what about his this? What about his? We have. He'll worry about them. It's his concern. He has to be concerned about them. Rebbe Lezer comes in the Mishnah and says a tremendous chiddush. That if a person has valuable assets that through them he makes a living. That's his parnasa. He has a couple of animals that he plows the field, and he has a ship, let's say. That's part of his parnasa. We let him keep a ship. Because the Mishnah starts off with a saw. What's a saw? It costs 5.5 shekel. No, and this guy has a ship, $10 million. There's a pretty big difference there. Says the Gemara, you can't consider a ship a tool. These are assets. Assets have a different halacha, and memela, I could take his assets and pay up the chayv that he has to Arachin. Says the Mishnah, min echad. If a person, let's say, the Mishnah says, if he has a bunch of tools, one type, let's say he has 3 saws and 1 planer. Says the Mishnah, you don't go ahead and buy him a second planer. What's the chiddush? Until now, the guy did very well with 1 planer. So because you're confiscating his tools, that's why you should go ahead and buy him a present, buy him a second. Well, what's the chiddush? It should still be good enough for him 1 tool. Now he had 3 saws. So anytime he needed a second planer, he took his 3rd saw and he lent it to somebody, traded it, and he got a planer. But now you're removing his 3rd saw, you're getting rid of it, and you're leaving him only with 2 saws. Now he has no extra saw to do a trade with.
2 saws.
I know, but he always needs one. He always needs a backup. Right.
He uses the backup.
He needs a backup in his tool shop. Why do these people always have 2? Why does the Mishnah say you have 2? Right. At any given time, you can't just lend it out. You have to assume that one is going to break today, and he'll just jump in and use the second one. So maybe since he can't lend it out and do a trade, maybe we should buy him one? Come on, we don't buy him anything. He was good enough until now with one, let him stay like that. Hamagdish is nechasav malin lo tefillin. We said at the end of the Mishnah that if a person says all my nechasim are kadosh, actually in Hegdish you don't have to say all, because Magdish by Yofa Magdish, the person says my nechasim. Nechasim are kadosh. It means all, because it's just a small diuk. Because when it comes to selling, when you sell your nechasim, you must say the word all. If you don't say the word all, it doesn't include all. That's the difference between selling and Hegdish. Because when you sell, bayin ra, you're meicher. But if you're Magdish all your nechasim, it includes the tefillin. And the Mishnah says you have the right to redeem your tefillin. This person must have said, all my nechasim are sold to Pliny. He sold his tefillin. All means everything, including his tefillin. Rashi says it's tremendous chiddush, that even when you sell your tefillin, you still have the right to redeem them. It's not literally that you sold it, you sold it, but it's your... What?
This is taking your tefillin, right?
We're talking about selling now. Selling to individual. When you sell to individual... Yeah, but you said all. He said all. That's what I was magdim. I was magdim. I said you have to say that that's what it's talking about. We must insert that word, otherwise forget the tefillin. No, but that's how we pass him basically. In Mechira it's ba'ayin ra. The kiva. Michael Mashmalon Masnisani. Hamagdish nechasav malon tefillin. So what's the difference between selling and being magdish? When you're magdish, we said that it includes the tefillin. So when you sell, it should include everything, including your tefillin. Mao the same mahasamu the sava mitzvah avida. When he's magdish, he wants to be mekayim a mitzvah, give the Beis Hamikdash more. So it includes everything, including his tefillin. Avalin zabune mitzvah the gufay leizabin. The person's not going to sell the mitzvah that he wears all day. Komash malon, that it includes his tefillin as well. He just has the right to redeem it, which is a big chiddush. Says the Mishnah. No, only his tefillin.
He pays chodesh.
Oh, you mean if Hegdish wants to sell it, yeah. If they want, yeah.
You mean the person hasn't got the right to redeem Hegdish against the wishes of the...
I'm saying no, because if Hegdish says, we received your product, but we want to sell it to him, not to you. It's not your right to buy it back. It's anybody's right. But his tefillin, he has a specific right on his tefillin.
Could be.
Yeah, so what is Hegdish going to do with personal property? Obviously, they want to sell it. They're going to make a garage sale and sell. By the way, that's what it's called by you guys? A garage sale? Do you know what that is? What do you call it? Car?
Car
boot sale. That's when you take all your stuff from your house and you put it out on the street and you sell it? No. You don't have it. Okay. In America. I was just curious. What?
The question is why is tefillin different?
Right.
Could be that tefillin is something very personal, and it's got an extra value because you have the tefillin written for yourself.
Yeah. So what does Hegdish care about that?
No, so there's two values here. There's a personal value besides the actual market value.
Yeah.
And therefore, the personal value, you're allowed to buy it back. Why?
Like why?
Because Hegdish could charge you more than the rest of them.
No, but that's something personal to you.
Okay. No, I hear why sentimentally and emotionally it makes sense,
It's only a value to you. It's got not a value to anybody else.
And my suit is...
We love your suit.
The market will pay 5.
No, we love his shirt, his Daf Barama shirt.
You would pay more than
Yerushalayim?
All my suits are stolen.
Obviously somebody liked them. They were good suits.
I said to the Arab, you get 50 shekels you like, you get 500 shekels coin for each suit you bring back.
Echad HaMagdish says the Mishnah. Echad HaMagdish nechosav, Echad HaMar chatzmoi, ein biksus ishtoi, veloy biksus banov. The guy cannot walk in the what are they called? The the sheriff in America. It's like the sheriff. They come in and they confiscate stuff.
Bailiff.
The who? Bailiff. The bailiff. He comes in. Somebody made a erki olai. He owes the Beis Hamikdash. He's not willing to pay. They come into his house, but they got to be careful. They can't go into his wife's closet. He bought clothing and he started dyeing the clothing. You can't remove those clothing. And if he bought new shoes, and he said, obviously they're women's shoes, you could tell it's not for himself, or they're small shoes, they're for his children, you can't take those and sell those off. Even though the children never wore them. They're not his anymore. They're for the wife and children. Before we said, we don't leave him money to buy the wife and children food. Okay, that's something else. Over here, you cannot remove their properties, their clothing, their shoes. Yeah, if you have a yasam, and the yasam inherited a slave, so the apotropos takes the slave and wants to sell it on the market. He can't just take a slave, all disheveled, and bring him on the market. He has to dress him up properly. Get one of your suits, put him on, nice, chashav, like you go to court. All these guys go to court. The worst, the biggest, the craziest guys. The guys that they go to court with this tie. So that's why? Because it's worth a little bit more money. Like you detail a car before you sell it. That's what we're talking about here. Give it a nice car wash. Same exact thing. You give him a haircut. Bring him to the market. That's dafka by nichse yisoymim. It's a chiyuv. It's a chiyuv on the apotropos to dress him up. Because even if you buy him a nice suit for 30, you could get 100. Interesting. Now I'm just thinking now in real estate also the same thing. Like this banker guy that came here to the shir, if he has a house that he's trying to sell for the bank, like a foreclosure, he always asks me, should he invest money in it? Because obviously if you invest money in it, you paint it up and you do the floors, whatever, you get more out of it. But he's a bank. He's not a. You always have that shaila. But the Mishnah says you put in 30, you take out. That's in America. In Israel, you put in 100 and you take out 90. Usually, because they always charge you for the potential that you could have made over here. They don't have that musik that I'm selling you something cheap. It's not done yet. They say I'm charging because you could make it over, and if you make it over, we're worth X, Y, and Z. So maybe I'm charging you for the X, Y, and Z, the final price. No, that's how basically it works here.
You don't have to pay.
No, you don't have to, but that's what they always request. They always have that. They're always thinking ahead. Either your cups. I'll upon him. There's nobody. That mice that I had in America. I told you this mice about my building, right? One of my greatest mices ever. But I'll say it anyways. This Mandy, you know my Maisa?
I know a lot of your Maisas.
This has no shy. I just remember this.
To kill the sun.
No. This Maisa you could actually write. I still own these buildings, like 15. It's a complex. Let's say 15, 20 buildings in one area, and a guy. No, these are very cheap. So this guy. Once upon a time, before I bought it, he sold off a couple of buildings. So when we bought the property, you have a building smack in the middle of your property. You have a pool, you have a whole tennis area, and one building that you don't own, somebody else owns it, and he brought in all these crazy tenants. So I went on a thing, I said I have to buy up these 3 buildings. So I went to the guy, I'll tell you even the numbers. I said it was $40,000 per apartment. I said, okay, I'm asking, I'm buying. So we had a contract, $40,000 apartment, which was a little high for that area, but I had to get him out of there. I had to control the whole thing because he's bringing drugs into the property. They tell me, this guy owns this building, but that's a beautiful building. That building has brand new windows, brand new roof, and very good tenants. Older people, they pay on time. Okay, let me go schmooze with him. So $40,000 per unit. I go to this guy, schmooze with him, he goes, nice to meet you. He has this whole southern accent. And then he says, how much do you want to pay me for my building? So the first rule is you never say a price. The guy has to give the price first, and then you could, because you might, who knows what price, you might be giving too much. So I said, no, you tell me how much you want. He says, listen, I bought it 10 years ago for $18,000 an apartment. Now, I understand that real estate goes down. I understand it goes down in value. I get it, he tells me. I get it. So what do you say? You give me $16,000 an apartment. And it's identical, it's built by the same person. Here's a building I'm buying for $40,000, and he tells me he gets it. He wants $10,000 an apartment. 16,000 an apartment. Yes, sir, we bought it right. I said, only on condition that I could buy it within 2 weeks. Like, no, it has to be very, very quick, I told him. Because I was worried he's going to go back to his friend in the bar. We own that building still. So anyways, I understand it goes down in value. Because, it's worth less. It's like a car. It goes down in value every year. You get it. Right. I'm saying you don't have those people here in Eretz Yisrael. They understand that it's going to be worth more next year, so maybe they're charging today the price of next year. Akoponim, right? That's how it works there.
Neighborhood shift, right?
Weiter. What is Shaykh to the Daf? I have no idea. Okay. V'chein para. And also if you have a cow, imamtine moiso leitlis or itlis mishubachasi. If you wait until the market, itlis doesn't necessarily mean the butcher, it means the marketplace. You could get a lot more money in the marketplace for a cow. If you sell it individually on the street, it's one thing. If you go to the market, there's a bidding war. If you take your precious jewel and you take it to another country, or you know where to go, you're going to get more, where?
The airport.
You go to the airport. Mendy knows.
Big time at the airport.
Yeah.
Only in the airport.
Only in the airport, you get for water $7 a bottle.
Only in the
But so here's a problem. Here the house doesn't win, the house loses. When it comes to Hegdish, we evaluate it today. We don't wait for the market. The market is on Tuesday, today's Sunday. How much is it worth today? Whatever that is, that's how much the guy pays. I could dress him up and I could do a little renovation, No. This is a very interesting concept, musik that we already had. The lashon is cool. You don't wait with your stone for the kalim, meaning the poor people. You don't stick around to see if you can get more money.
No.
Remember, we learned it because then I embarrassed Mendy with his yellow stone, $46,000. V'chulu, kodesh l'Hashem, and the continuation of the pasuk is kodesh l'Hashem. That what? Stam Ekdesh is the bedek havai. I don't know why I would have it. Maybe I do. Where is it? No, Baruch. Okay. Thanks. Hadran Allah Shuma Yisayim. That what? If a person says, I'm giving Hegdish, but he doesn't specify what, he's very vague. There's a few Hegdashim, could be 1 or 3 Hegdashim or more. It could be for the Mizbeach. Hegdish, I want to dedicate this specifically for the Mizbeach, as a carbon for the Mizbeach. Or I want to dedicate it for Chayrim HaKoyen. Stam Bedek, without specifying, is for Bedek HaBayis, for the upkeep of the Beis HaMikdash. And we finished Shuma Yisayim. I think Menachem Mata started this for you guys. Yeah, it was that day. All right, says the Mishnah. So we're talking about a Zdei Achuzah and a Zdei Mikna. Zdei Achuzah, let's say. What's the difference between a Zdei Achuzah and a Zdei Mikna? Zdei Achuzah, the field is the same. A person has a field he got from when he came into Eretz Yisrael. They got an achla. This is his. He went ahead and he gave it to the Bedek HaBayis. He gave it to the Beis HaMikdash. On that specifically, if you give it to Beis HaMikdash, it's worth 50 shekel on year 1 of the Yovel cycle, and every year after that, you take off a shekel, a sela. Per year, per what? For base core, right. For this. Base core is 75,000 square amas. Basically, it's a joke of a price. It's a deal of a lifetime. You pay 1 sela. Bekitzer, it's probably a fraction of a percent of what we pay for property today. It's nothing. It's a joke. 50 shekel for 75,000 square amas, where it costs millions and millions of dollars, or even in Eretz Yisrael, certainly. If you give it to your friend, you sell it off to your friend. It says they mikna. It goes by the value. You can take it back. It's yours because it's a zdei achuzah, belongs in your family. but you have to pay full market value.
The chuz is not that you're giving them as well. The chuz is that you got it to Yerusha.
No. Everything's Birusha. Everything's Birusha. That's what I'm trying to say. All fields are Birusha. The whole Eretz Yisrael is Birusha. If you sell it to individual, that's his name Mikna, and you don't have the 50 shekel. You can't sell a property to your friend for $1 million and say, hey, I want to redeem it for 50 shekel. But if I say I'm going to give it to the Beis Hamikdash, then you have the right to go back to the Beis Hamikdash and say I'm going to pay you 50 shekel on year one. But if there's 5 years left, you give Hegdish 5 shekel and 5 pudyons. What's the cheshbon of pudyons? Like we had in Bchairos, you only really have 49 working years. You're in Yovel, and then you have 49 years afterwards, and it's 50 shekel. So you have to divide 50 shekel, 50 selah in 49 years. How do you do that? You take one selah. Every selah is worth 48 punyon. So you give a punyon per year.
Why do you pay for the Shemitah year?
What?
Why do you pay for the Shemitah?
Why do you?
Yeah.
Why not?
It's also not a working year.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's working or not. I'm saying if not Yovel.
But you still get the produce, because you get the year before you get times 3.
Oh, because Baruch's name. Plus, you can put your stuff there, maybe. Anyway, for a shekel, I wouldn't complain. I wouldn't say I wanted to. I'm paying a shekel for the whole Ramat Bet Shemesh. I need a discount.
But
The only thing that Rashi points out here, and we had it in Bechairos. Let's see if anybody remembers. We just said that a selah is worth 48, not 49. So it comes out that you're actually giving Hegdish 1 extra punyon, because you have to give Hegdish 50 shekel total. It's 1 shekel per year and 1 punyon per year. But that's 49 punyons. It comes out that you're giving Hegdish 49 punyons. If you take the extra shekel, you're giving 49 shekel per year, and you take the 50th shekel and you break it down into 49 pieces. But it's really 48 pieces, because a shekel is only worth 48. That means you have to add another punyon from another shekel that you're not chayiv. You just gave, at the end of the day, you gave Hegdish 50 shekel, whole shekel, plus 1 punyon, money changer. So that's the, Rashi brings it here. You have to add that one little punyon, even though it's not in that cheshbon of 50. Not important to the sugya, yeah?
50 shekel is not really the value of the land, because it's talking about any sort of land. If it's a mountainous
Right.
section,
100%.
anyway.
100%. As the no matter how valuable it is or how unvaluable it's 50 shekel. Right.
All it is really and truly, this Chuza should be coming back to you, because the property rights has expired. At the end of 50 years, it expires, so it goes back to you.
Yeah.
The only thing is, you've got a penalty, or you've got a payment to make.
Right.
Registration charge.
It's one of these amounts that it doesn't. There's no logic here. It's a payment.
That's why it's in those programs and more.
All right. Zok the Mishnah. We got to move. The simple pshat in the Mishnah is you cannot make your field hegdish 2 years before Yovel. The Gemara is going to say that's not the pshat. The pshat is just good advice. Don't do it. It's not kedai. It's going to cost you a lot of money. What?
We're saying it's only 50.
50 shekel.
Yeah. So what's the difference if it's 2 years or 3 years?
No. If there's 2 years left in the Yovel cycle, it should only cost you 2 shekel. The Gemara is going to explain in those 2 years it's going to cost you 50 shekel. It's a very bad deal. If you want to get your value worth, don't do it 2 years before Yovel. You're going to be paying 48 shekel extra. We'll see in the Gemara. This is also a machlokes. We're going to see in the Gemara what this means exactly. You can't do geula after the Yovel 1 year. If you're magdish it. Yeah, we're talking about that it belongs to Hegdish. You shouldn't go and redeem it 1 year after Yovel. What does this mean exactly? Not the simple pasha pshat in the Mishnah.
So you shouldn't be makdish within the last 2 years.
And be goyelet.
And you shouldn't be goyelet though after.
Right.
In the first year.
In the first year.
It's fine to be makdish.
Right. You could be magdish it because, yeah. Well, we're going to see. You could be magdish it, but we'll see. There's machlokes Rav and Shmuel what this means exactly. It's a simple pshat in the Mishnah. We don't count months for hegdish, meaning it's all full years. If the year starts, that's a full year. they dock you one full sela and a pudyon. We don't break it down by months.
No prorating.
Right. No proration. Aval hegdish mechashev chodashim. But if it's over here, the house wins. If it's not good to go by the full year, then, and the Gemara will explain, then you go by hegdish. Then you say that, yeah, we are mechashev chodashim. Says the Gemara, v'reminu. It says mefurish, magdishin bein lifnei hayovel, bein la'achar hayovel. You could be magdish whenever you want. In other words, a year or two before yovel, you could. Not like the Mishnah says. Ubishnas hayovel atzmo lo yagdish. V'mhigdish ein gdoisha. It says mefurish, the only problem is on yovel itself. There's no problem right before yovel, the years before yovel. So why does our Mishnah say there's a problem the 2 years before yovel? Rav Shmuel Damar Tavayu, they explain, a magdishin li goel begerua pochas mishnei shana. We're talking about gerua, meaning to consider every year one sela. You don't do that. When it comes 2 years before yovel, you're going to say to yourself, I'm going to redeem it for 2 sela and 2 punyoins. No, it's 50 sela a year. 50 sela if you 2 years before, 50 sela if it's 1 year before. It's a full price. And the Gemara learns it out from a pasuk. So what is the Torah? What is the Mishnah saying? A magdishin. If you're an Amoritz, you read it. A magdishin. You can't. No. If you know pshat is a magdishin, don't do it. We're giving you good advice. Don't throw your money away to hegdish, so to speak. You're going to get a raw deal. You're going to have to pay 50 instead of 2. You should be careful. Itmar. Big machlokes now. Before 2 years before yovel, Rav and Shmuel both agree that you can be magdish. It's just going to cost you. What about yovel itself? Rav Omar Gdoisha v'noisen chamishim. It works. You just have to give 50 sela. Shmuel Omar Eino Gdoisha kolikar. It's not chal b'chlal. You try to give it to the hegdish. It doesn't work. Maskevler Rav Yosef Bishlam Elinim Mechira. The Polik Shmuel Ali the Rav. I can understand that you can't sell it to somebody. Why? I have a simple kavachomer. If I sell something 5 years before yovel, comes yovel, it's mafkir the mechira. There is no mechira. It goes back to the original owner. The mechira, what's a good word? Expires. It annuls the mechira. Yeah. So if yovel has the power to do that, then yovel won't allow it to be chal b'chlal. If on yovel itself I try to sell, it's just not going to grab. There's no sale. Yovel, what's a good word? Yovel makes it's mafkia. How do you say mafkia in English?
Uproots.
Okay. If it uproots an existing mechira, then it won't allow a new mechira to go into effect. So that's a kavachomer Shmuel has. Elahacha, but by hegdish, we don't have a kavachomer. What happens if somebody's magdish's field and he doesn't redeem it? It's not worth it for him. Says the Gemara, the kohanim must pay for the field. So if they pay for the field, then that means it's not mafkia. It's not annulled. It doesn't get uprooted. Somebody has to come along and pay for it. So if somebody has to come, you don't have a kavachomer. The only time you have a kavachomer is if yovel uproots. We don't have an uprooting by hegdish. Somebody has to pay for it. That's not considered uprooting. So Mela, you can't sell it. You can't be magdish on yovel. Maybe it could be magdish on yovel. Says the Gemara, Shmuel Rabbi Shimon Svirulek. There's another man Damar called Rabbi Shimon. Damar nichnasim v'loy noisnim. The kohanim can just go in there and they don't have to pay for it. In other words, yovel is mafkia. It does uproot. If it does uproot, then you can't be magdish b'kavachomer. If I was magdish 5 years before yovel comes in and uproots it and gives it to the kohanim, so certainly I can't be magdish today because all are uprooted on the spot. Says the Gemara.
What's Hadra name? Mihadra?
Mihadra goes back. V'rav Sovar, soif la ba'ala miko hadra. You see that the bailos, the ownership is not uprooted. It happens to be, it goes to kohanim, but you don't see it uprooting any bailos. Why? They're just eating from hegdish as a part of Hegdish, but it stayed in Hegdish's property. My time at the Rav. Now Tosfos just asked a question. I'm not going to go into his teretz, but Tosfos has a beautiful question. If you don't have a kavachomer, then you don't need a pshat in Rav. Rav doesn't hold of the kavachomer. So why does the Gemara ask my time at the Rav?
Well, no, because then it could be mamid according to both of them, Rabbi Yehuda and Shmuel. Meaning he doesn't have what called the Homer if he holds Rabbi Yehuda, right? But the Gemara answered Shmuel, Reb Shimon's like, and according to Reb Shimon, it would be a kavachomer. The Gemara wants to be mamid Rav, both according to Reb Shimon and Rabbi Yehuda.
Okay. Is that Tosfos teretz? No. Omar, Noam. My time of the Rav. Omar Krov. V'im mishnas hayovel. Mishnas hayovel b'chlal. So it says in the pasuk, im mishnas hayovel yagdish. There's two psukim. Pasuk Yud Zayin says im mishnas hayovel, and then says v'im achar hayovel. So Rav learns mishnas hayovel means right now in yovel itself. I'm being Magdish. So you see, I can be Magdish in Yovel. V'im achar Yovel tells me the year after Yovel. It makes a lot of sense according to Rav. It flows beautifully. It says Mefurish in the pasuk, I can be Magdish in Yovel. So what do you tell me you can't be Magdish? You have a Kavachomer, not a Kavachomer. The pasuk says, Im Mishnas HaYovel Yagdish. V'arai that Mishnas HaYovel means Yovel itself, because look at the next pasuk. V'im achar Yovel, Im after. And it says a whole different thing. There's a Geroy and Kesef and small words there. Ushmuel miksiv vim bishnas hayovel doesn't say in the year of Yovel. Mishnas hayovel, after Yovel ksiv mishono shachar hayovel. It starts bishloi milarav hainu d'chsiv im mishnas hayovel v'machar Yovel fits beautifully. El Shmuel may achar Yovel. How's Shmuel going to explain the second pasuk? Very good. It doesn't say bit, but what do you do with achar Yovel? Says the Gemara. Achar. So Shmuel says unbelievable. Shmuel says that in the first year of Yovel, it's going to cost you 50 selah. This pasuk, v'im achar hayovel yagdish, and what does it say? V'chishav lo yakon es kesef. Then you do a whole chishuv, and it says v'nigra merkecho. I start prorating it. That's not in the first year. It's achar hayovel. I prorate it. When's the first time that it's less than 50? 2 years into it.
Doesn't Rav also agree that the first year of the year was you have to redeem it for 50?
Yeah, but
Where does he learn that from?
what?
Where does he learn that from then? Rav?
I don't think it's a steer to him.
No, I don't know if it's a steer, but that's still.
Yeah, so what does Rav hold? No, maybe not. Hold on. When I learned it, I think it was different. I think even in my in the 8 minutes, I think I said different. That it's different according to Rav.
So according to Rav, only is Magdish on Yovel itself it's 50?
Yeah.
And the year after that,
Yeah, because we have to see, because he holds right. He holds like Rabbi Yehuda. He holds like Rabbi Yehuda that it, let's see the Gemara. I'm confused. Let's see. Meisvei Magdishim bein lifnei hayovel bein la'achar hayovel. It says that you could be Magdish before and after. B'shnas hayovel atzmo lo yagdish, and who's this akashan according to Rav? That Rav says you could be Magdish on Yovel itself. V'migdish ein gdoisha. Omelach Rav ein gdoisha ligol begerua. In other words, that Yovel itself is Chamishim, and then afterwards, the year after is 49.
That's mashma according to Rav that right before and after you are going to pay the Gerua, even the year after.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
No, the year after is 49, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Michlal delfnei hayovel gdoisha ligol begerua v'Rav Shmuel Amar Tavayu ein magdishim ligol begerua pachas mishtei shanim. Right? It says mefurish that you could do it before, and you get girua 2 years before Yovel. You could just pay 2 selah for the 2 years before, and we said over here that you can't. Rav Shmuel will say that 2 years before Yovel is going to cost you 50. What do you do? It says mefurish over here that only the year Yovel itself is a full 50. Any other year 48 and 49 is 2 selah or 1 selah. not 50. And we said in the beginning of the sugya, the Rav and Shmuel both hold that year 48 and 49 are 50 sela. Amalach Rav, Homani Rabbanani. It's not me. This goes according to Rabbanan. Vanod Amrik Rebbe. This is machloikis, and we had this machloikis. Beautiful machloikis. It says like this. It says over here in small words. I put it in not to skip the pasuk. But what's important to us is the red and blue. So you could either learn that it doesn't include advad b'chlal. It includes the rishon, it includes the shvi. That you can't eat chametz. We know you can't eat chametz from the first day to the seventh day. But from this pasuk, do we know it? Or do we need the other pasuk that says the 21st day? So if you hold mi yom rishon va'ad yom shvi, he says no. It only includes the 5 days in between. It doesn't include the red and the blue. It includes everything else besides that. So memela. Omani Rabbanani v'anod amik Rebbe do Omar by chametz rishon v'rishon b'chlal shvi v'shvi b'chlal hochanami in our sugya b'shnas u'shnas hayovel b'chlal. When the Torah says the yovel, it includes even the 50th year. But this brisa, you're right. This brisa that says you cannot be magdish on yovel is not me. It's going according to the man Omer that holds that when the Torah says yovel, it doesn't include yovel. It's besides yovel. Just like this pasuk doesn't include the first day and the 7th day, it doesn't include yovel. You started the year after yovel.
What does Rav hold 2 years before? That it's the Giruah, and that he's...
Why? What does that have to do with 2 years before?
That's what the Gemara asks.
No, we're talking about... Oh, you're talking about this whole thing. But Rav admits about Giruah. Now he's saying this whole brisa has nothing to do with Rav. Rav is not in this brisa b'chlal. Forget about Rav. This brisa is Rabbanon. I'm not in this... me, Rav, I hold like Rebbe, who's not in this brisa b'chlal. Iki Rebbe, that you could be magdish. Rebbe, what does Rebbe say? Rebbe says that it starts on Yovel. The Torah says B'shnas HaYovel, so it starts on Yovel. So how many years do you have, Rabbi Yisai? It starts on Yovel. How many years? If somebody's magdish his field on Yovel, how many years does he have? How many years is the Yovel cycle? 50. And if it starts on Yovel, I have a 50-year cycle, so how much am I paying per year? Exactly what the Torah says. 1 selah per year. 50 slaim, it's 1 selah per year. So where did I come up with the pudyon? Where's that extra pudyon? Extra pudyon is only if I have 49 years. And I'm stuck with the extra selah, I have to take that selah and break it down per year. But if I could start on Yovel, then I'm not stuck with the pudyon. It works out beautifully. Iki Rebbe, pudyon mayavidite. And if you're going to say Rebbe doesn't have the whole musik of a pudyon, Vasnan, Higdish time v'shol shalom ifnei Yovel, Rebbe Oimer ani noisin selo pudyon l'shana. Rebbe says mefurish that there is a pudyon. Where did he get the pudyon? He started on year number 1, and there's a 50-year cycle. Break it down, do the math. 50 divided by 50 is 1. I mean, there's one selah per thing. Rebbe Yehuda Sfirle. Beautiful. So Rebbe has to hold like Rebbe Yehuda that says that the Yovel cycle is only 49 years. He starts on Yovel, but it only counts 49 years, and he has 50 shekel. He has to divide 50 shekel by 49. Yeah? Works. The Shmuel, according to Shmuel, Lema Rebbe Karabanan Sfirle. So Shmuel's going to be forced to say that the Yovel cycle is 50. Why? What's going on here? According to Shmuel, that you can't figure out the first year. You go only the achar. Shmuel says, when do I start paying up? I start from 2 years later. So that means if there's only a 49-year cycle, I'm left with 48 years. If I'm left with 48 years, I have to divide 50 into 48. That means I have 2 extra years. I have 2 extra shekel. 2 extra shekel means there's 2 pudyans per year. But Shmuel always says 1 pudyan. Everybody says 1 pudyan. Nobody ever mentioned anything about 2 pudyans. So Memela, we have to say that Shmuel holds like Rabbanon that a Yovel cycle is 50. And Memela, he's only missing 1 year, not 2 years. It's a 49. He starts paying on year 1, and he only has 49 years. 50 shekel for 49 years is 1 pudyan extra per year, not 2. Because if he held, like Rabbi Yehuda, that the cycle is 49, he'd only be left with 48 years, and that would be a problem. Elul Rav Bishleim Shmuel Toshma. Okay, Toshma. It's our Mishnah. We learned in our Mishnah. V'lo goyalin achar ayovel pachos mishana. You're not supposed to redeem it after a year. Bishleim Shmuel lo goyalin achar ayovel pachos mishana. It makes beautiful sense. It fits right into the words of the Mishnah. You don't redeem it 1 year after. In other words, because what? Wasn't chal b'chlal on yovel. 0. Nothing was chal. You try to be magdish on yovel, it wasn't chal. El l'rav mayachar yovel shana. What's this business? I can't be goyel 1 year after. Misarvers achar yovel mamish. He doesn't mean yovel itself. Mayachar yovel be'emtza yovel. What he means is in middle of the yovel cycle. Says Rashi, we're going jump ahead 20 years. In middle of the cycle, that's what he means. In the yovel, not year 50, but in year 25, in middle of a cycle of yovel. A very simple halacha that the Mishnah says mufurish, that in any given year, if you jump into the middle of the year, you have to pay for the whole year. There's no proration. We just said it. All the Mishnah is doing is explaining. How come you don't get a rebate on a half a year? Noam. Oh, Avi.